Born Without Tear Ducts. That might have been Tori laughing. Because we're all trapped inside.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in to Plus Time, a live stream comedy show to get us all through this. I'm your host, Jameson Rogers, and as always, I'm here to remind you that even though things suck right now, there's at least a possibility that they won't always suck. They say comedy is just tragedy plus time. We're in the midst of a whole bunch of tragedies all the time, always, but if we keep using whatever time we have to create things, we can all look back on this one day and laugh. That is, if the world continues to spin. Getting us started off right is my co-host of 73 episodes and my brother of 29 years. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands for Drew Rogers.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? I'm doing okay.
Good.
There's like a little thing on my computer screen right now that is just like on my face on the screen. And
I noticed
I keep thinking that it's on my face. Oh no, really? It's just on my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh no, yeah, I got it.
It looks like a mole, like.
Are you messing
a
with
De
me
Niro
right now?
mole?
I just wiped it off the screen.
No, legit.
What are you talking about?
Like right over here. Maybe it's on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone.
Screen. Did we just have like a speck on the screen in the same spot?
Seems
Weird.
like it.
Seems like it. We haven't done a show in what, like 3 weeks, something like that. Things
it's
keep
been
happening.
A while. Since the 17th of last month.
Is that right? Wow,
Yep.
That's almost a whole month. And actually, I was just looking at it. I think we've only done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this is our 11th show of the year, which is very strange. You know,
yeah.
The world opened up a little bit again. We started getting busier, doing other stuff. You know, it happens. But I'm happy to be back. I've missed you. I've seen you in person a few times since the last time we did the show, certainly. But you know, it's good to be back.
So I have a story to tell. You already know it. I said I have a story to tell, and you already know it. So about 2 weeks ago, maybe, I don't know. Last time isn't linear anymore. I went to the convention center. Just on a walk, I saw a guy dressed as a Batman, and then another guy dressed as Deadpool, both walking the same direction. So you gotta just, you gotta wonder, where the fuck are these guys going?
There's a library at the end of that tunnel.
So I followed these guys into the convention center, and there was a convention going on. It's like, oh, that's fun. I didn't really have any intention of going in there until I saw somebody's wristband that they had ripped off, and I was like, oh. I was able to put it on.
You
so I went into this con. I went into this Comic-Con for free and just kind of wandered around, and there are celebrities that have been Comic-Con celebrities for a long time, like the guy from Chips. I keep forgetting his name.
Eric Estrada.
Every single time somebody has his name after I say that, but I'm still like the Chips guy.
I don't know the other Chips guy. So.
Right. Walking around, and then I stop. I'm like, oh shit, that's Dave Foley, like from Kids in the Hall. Dave Foley. I was like, oh shit, and there's no line for him. So I walk over and I'm like, hey, I'm a huge fan of yours. I actually just watched the first 2 episodes of the new Kids in the Hall, trying not to tell him that I just saw his balls.
Right.
And he asked me.
He knows. If you said that, he knows.
Yeah, absolutely. he was like, "Oh, great. Well, do you want a selfie or an autograph?" And I'm like, "Sure,
Mhm.
I'll do both." And I picked out like a news radio poster for him to sign because I was going to give it
Mhm.
to you and
Mm,
all this stuff. And then
very nice.
I start to pull out my wallet, and they look around like, they're like, "Yeah, we don't take that. Like, there's someone else that takes the money. You bring like a ticket over or something." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
uh, where?" I'm like, "Somewhere over there." It's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go somewhere over there then."
Yeah.
I think I made Dave Foley feel like a whore.
Yeah, that's what you called. You called.
Bottom
I was out
line.
of town at the time, and you called me, and that was like what you said. You said I met Dave Foley. Explained the whole story, so I made Dave Foley feel like a whore. I was like, oh, wow, that was on my bucket list, but I guess I'm just kidding. But hold on a second. Sorry, my phone was
Anything
making
new
a
with
noise.
you?
New with me? Not at this time. Yeah. Soon there will be news, I think. But not today. Today, there is only olds. I'm sorry I said that. Do you want to... No, okay, like what has been up with me? I've watched TV a little bit. I mowed the lawn earlier, so,
Nice.
smelling like sweat and grass in this house, so that's pretty cool.
Mm.
I don't know. Probably gonna make some salmon for dinner tonight. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to tell. There might be, but not yet. Anyway, do you want to get to our first guest, Drew?
Yeah,
Our
let's do
only
it.
guest. We have our guest today. All right,
We have
our
a guest, yes.
first and only guest today is he's one of my best friends and a very funny comic and a frequent guest on the show. Please put your hands for the one and only Luke Swisher. What's up, Luke?
What up? How we doing? Ooh,
Not bad.
Ooh.
Having a good time.
I love
Doing
it.
well. Oh yeah. To pay the kids in the hall for stuff. You know
Also,
what I mean?
yeah. I to in your defense, Drew, I can almost guarantee that Dave Foley has felt like way more of a whore doing some of the actual film and television work
Yes.
he's done
That's
in the
true.
last 20
That's
very true.
years.
Yeah.
15-ish year, whatever post news,
Mhm.
whatever post Bugs Life stuff he's done. I'm
Pretty
sure
much.
he's felt like a whore way more often than
He was a regular on Dr. Ken with Ken Jeong.
He had very delicate hands.
I mean, I was just saying to somebody recently, I haven't even seen the actual new episodes of Kids in the Hall. I've just seen like some of them promoting. Like, fucking good on Dave for aging so well. Like, he was always the most handsome, but like he's still like with a bullet the most handsome of those guys. Like,
I will say that I've only seen the first 3 or 4 episodes so far, but it like of all the kind of like revivals of old comedy movies or Super Troopers sequel and that kind of stuff like that happens way later, it holds up better than anything. It's like quality and it feels like the same show. It's very fun.
Yeah, it feels like they
So-
didn't like miss a beat at all.
Exactly. And very much like, and that's just kind of how they frame it too. It's just like we
they
buried ourselves and
lean
then we
into
dig
that
ourselves
so
up.
hard.
Yeah.
it's also weird because I hadn't thought about this before, but I feel like probably for our generation, maybe a little bit younger, there is a specific kind of love for Kids in the Hall based solely on the fact that if you were watching Kids in the Hall, on TV at our age on Comedy Central, that normally meant that you, for some reason, had the day off of school. Because it always was like on at like 2 in the afternoon-ish or like 1 in the afternoon on the weekdays. And so if you were watching it, that meant that it was like a snow day or the summer, or usually not even the summer, but like some special
Or you're like
reason.
4 years old.
Yeah.
That's really what their main
These 4-year-olds
audience was.
watching Buddy Cole and being like, ah.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it's just like the combination of insanely high quality comedy mixed with the feeling of like, I'm not at the place I hate to be today.
And also, watching that show just makes you feel like you're getting away with something, even as an adult. It's like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
is this allowed? You know?
This feels dangerous.
Oh, this is
There's a
interesting.
chicken lady.
Trey's doctor's name is Dave Foley. Is it the Dave Foley? I feel like you would tell us if it was, but
I
in
could
my
see
head
Dave-
canon.
I could see
It's
Dave
just that
moonlighting
Dave
as a fake doc. I mean, and there's literally the whole fucking.
Uh-huh.
You know what? You want to know something? I'm a bad doctor. I thought, how far can you coast on just charm alone? Turns out pretty far.
The Frank Abagnale method. You
Yeah.
know? Frank Abagnale. He was
Uh,
the Catch Me If You Can guy.
no, I know.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
I was doing it for the audience. I figured you probably know. You usually know stuff like that.
I know. Look, if it's not worth knowing.
Oh, do you know
I
the
know
name
it.
of the other guy from Chips? I figured if anyone knows, it'll probably be you.
Oh, I got it. I feel like his name's John something.
I think the character's name is John, but I think they could both be John. That's a okay, we're gonna have to look this up. If
I
you
know
know,
for a long-
in the comments, let us know if you know.
It's safe to say John.
For a long time as a kid,
Olivia
I
says that you understand every reference ever, which is probably true. It's just,
I mean,
just
not
pretty close.
everyone, but like a lot of them, and I'm not happy about it.
Thank you, Anna, for the compliment on the deep cut. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. Like I was talking to Anna earlier. Actually, it's just like I feel like you have a lot of practical knowledge, and I have like all the stuff that I think is fun. Like no one
Yeah.
else really does. Oh, okay, here we go. Larry
Hey.
Wilcox is as
Oh, okay.
Officer Jonathan Andrew Baker. Wow, they gave him a middle name and everything.
Ooh.
Nice.
And both
That's some real character development right there.
Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I think in 30 Rock, Liz Lemon had a crush on Larry Wilcox. I feel like that was a bit.
that
that
sounds like
happened.
it tracks. I just love
Yeah,
that both
right?
actor
I think so.
and character have just the whitest names possible
Mhm.
because it's like definitely obviously in the 70s, if you're next to Eric Estrada, you look like the whitest dude. When I was a
Right.
kid, when I would hear Eric Estrada's name, I thought his name was Erica Strada. Like, I
Strada,
thought that was
right.
like a Latinx type of thing where it's like, oh yeah, guys can be called Erica if you're Latin American. And then I found out, no, I was just stopping his first name at the wrong point.
Hey, guys can be called whatever they want.
mean, hey,
no
this
matter
is
where
also
they're
true.
from.
That's also true.
No matter where you're from, you can. I could go by Talisman. That doesn't even make sense. That's a name of a different
When it's
thing.
not
and
a
true.
person's you could get a talisman.
could be
probably
talisman.
most
You
places.
could go by I
Mhm.
might want to go by Talisman. This is
If
really
I like
why
it.
I
You
asked
should
guys
change
here
your
today.
nickname or your name right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll be Talisman. Anybody else like want to change their name?
I mean, you have
I'm
a
gonna be
chain
Talisman.
already. If you just put like a disc on the end of that chain, and I feel like talisman would work very well as a nickname for you. Especially if it
Even if
glows.
it's a compact disc.
Yes. I mean, hey,
Talisman.
what is a CD if not a talisman at this point? Because nobody uses them anymore.
I
You just
gotta
have a
look up what
DVD of
talisman-
Idiocracy around your neck. Ooh.
Oh, Drew, what's your favorite Dave Foley performance?
I don't know. I love Bug's Life, but he was on an episode of Superstore where he would.
I bet
he
that was great.
Fucking hilarious on it. Yeah, he was just like the worst human being that you could think of.
That sounds great. Anna says, talk
Mhm.
about Jackie Chan Adventures, the only time when talismans meant anything in my adult life.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I forgot
Adventures,
about
like,
that
without me?
show.
That was going through my head the
Ah.
whole time we were talking about talismans, even though I did not really ever actively watch it. I feel like that was at a point where I was just like, that was like at a weird stage where for a long time I wasn't into action cartoons, early action anything. I was like, this is
Mhm.
boring. Why aren't they making yucks?
Make with the
uh,
jokes, you fucking nerds. What are you
Come on, Samurai Jack. Why don't you crack a smile, you Phil Lamar voiced fuck?
Shout out Phil Lamar too.
We
Today,
love
like,
Phil
this
Lamar.
episode is all about our love for fucking Dave Foley and Phil Lamar, you guys.
I mean, we were off air. We were talking about Spider-Man 2. Phil Lamar's got a great, I guess, what would you call? He doesn't have any lines, so
It's like not. It's like a cam. It's not a full
Yeah.
cameo. It's a
He
cam.
What's
gets
the-
to touch
he goes-
Spider-Man, so
Yeah,
featured
He gets a pay
extra. I
raise.
believe is
yeah.
the term.
Featured
Ah,
extras.
like,
That's what it is, I think.
you're like you're an extra technically, but you kind of get to interact with like them a little bit.
It's weird, like for the uninitiated, like if you don't look up this shit and know all these people's names, like Luke and I do, like just to see how much Phil Lamar has actually been in your life, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like Aquaman and Green Lantern and Samurai Jack, like Mad TV, Pulp Fiction, dude's everywhere.
Static Shock.
Shock, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
series doesn't get enough credit because that series is just amazing.
here's
And they
the-
did a beautiful episode on like gun violence in a school, like a kid bringing a gun to a school, and they handled it
Hey, that's
so
great.
well.
Oh
My-
yeah,
my
that
thing-
show was awesome.
My thing with
Go on.
thinking about Static Shock now as an adult, thinking back on it, and I haven't really
Mhm.
watched it, but from what I remember, and it's this weird, awkward thing now. Like I feel like the animation and look of Static Shock was so much lower than the rest of the DC animated
Mhm.
universe, and
Yeah.
and now I'm like, why? Okay, why is the show centered around a black character, the one that you are giving the least amount of attention to animation wise? But that could also.
But also, I feel like it holds up better than a lot of them. Well, maybe
It
not a
does.
lot of them.
They
I'm-
had such a cheap budget at that point, just because of like the recession and everything, that it was like, all right, give me 4 limbs and a body, and we'll make it work.
See what we can do. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Dwayne McDuffie too, creator of that
Yeah.
character and the whole
That's
Milestone comic imprint, which
Mhm.
you know, yeah, I think it's
It's-
like mostly available on DC Universe if you're a nerd who.
Yeah, I
likes
believe
it.
all those. At least Static has been officially folded into the DC
Mhm.
Comics universe. I don't know how much.
Mhm.
I don't read much DC. But,
Yeah, me neither anymore. I had DC Universe for a long time, and then Drew got like the Marvel Unlimited, and it was like,
It's
why
so
do you
good.
like? Why am I even trying? Like, it's everything. They got everything. It's so good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's not it for Nerds Talk, but I'm gonna give it a brief moment of rest while we take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll play a game. Sound cool to you?
I love it.
Yeah.
Huzzah! Mhm. I seriously like before the show ends in 2037. I really want to get that cereal made with Ty Moore on the box. That's what I want to do with my power, you guys.
I mean, look, I don't think it's impossible. I feel like
I don't know, certainly not.
if you just compact a bunch of sugar and then color it a certain way, and then just paint a cardboard box, like you have it. Like you have it right there.
100%. And I feel like Ty, if you just give him a free box, he'll do it. Probably.
Oh,
Shout out
he'd eat
Ty
it all in one gulp and then die of diabetic shock.
Goddamn right. That's why Drew drew that in the first place. I always sound like I'm stuttering when I say that Drew drew something.
Right.
Yeah.
Juju.
Drew. That's why Drew drew. it. That's why.
Drew got that new.
Yeah, and that was episode 1, I believe. Actually, the first episode of Plus Time, we had Ty Moore on, and he talked about how much he loved cereal, and that's been there ever since. But anyway, guys, y'all want to play a game?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. This
Jigsaw.
is a game,
Come
of
on.
course, that we like to call. All right, of course, the way this game works is I am going to show you a drawing that Drew has drawn. How's that for tenses? uh, and uh, and we're gonna ask you questions about said character, and then we're just gonna kind of flesh them out. Timies, if you're hanging out, feel free to like chime in if you feel like you have another question that you want us to ask Luke outside of the ones that we're gonna ask. So let's start with this guy. This is your guy right here. Get him out of your face. Throw him down in the corner there. Okay. So first question: what is this character's name?
Man, I honestly want to think about this because I'm gonna tell you right now, Drew, I love this boy so much already.
Luke is already gonna order a T-shirt with this dude on it.
Give it to me now. Quigley.
Quigley. I like that.
Oh, love it already. Quigley. That's so good. You know, when my sister was pregnant with her first kid, I was like jokingly, but like half not jokingly, just saying like, you should name that kid Quigley. I feel like because I would call him Quiggles and it would be fun.
Well, and you're just a huge fan of the Tom Selleck film Quigley Down Under.
Of course, yeah, because in
Of
addition
course.
to the mustache, he adds a little bit of a soul patch situation going on
And
there
a cowboy
too.
hat, and he fights
that's what
Alan
sets him apart.
Rickman.
Yeah, he fights Alan Rickman. I think Sam Elliott's in that too, but I could be wrong about that.
Sam Elliott's there, like, damn it, if decades from now some lady makes a cowboy movie where they don't wear shirts with chaps and they're dreaming about kissing each other, I'm gonna get so mad.
Man. He apologized so profusely for that sentence. He's like, dude, yeah, no, I'm sorry. And even like in the interview, I don't know if you listened to the WTF interview.
I listened to like a segment. I didn't listen to the whole thing though.
It was really funny. He was like, I don't know what's the deal with this cowboy movie. I think there's gay undertones in this. And he goes, no, that's what the movie's about. He's like, I don't think there's undertones. That's what the movie's about. I still have not seen Power of the Dog.
I mean, it's good. I really liked it. It is. Make Luke go 5 6 Okay, I just won't talk.
No, please tell me about the Power of the Dog. What were you saying?
The Power. Power of the Dog can't be considered an obscure reference.
No, it's fine.
It won
that
Best
was like
Director
an
at the
Oscar
Academy
contender
Awards.
just a few months ago. So
my thing with Power of the Dog is that like there were so many people who were like, "Ooh, what?" Like debating on what the Power of the Dog's ending is, and I'm like, it's pretty obvious. Like, or were you just not paying attention? Like, just like watch the thing. Like, it is a thing where you're kind of like, what's going on? And then the ending is like, oh, and then like that's why I want to watch it again because like I've heard like you watch it again and you're like, once you have the knowledge of the actual ending and then you watch it again, you're like, oh yeah, this like from the get-go, you're like, this is absolutely what's going to happen. Like they spell it out for you. You're just kind of like in that mode where you're just like, oh, I don't know, but really, you know, open your third eye. You know
what's going on. Yeah, still have not seen that one myself. But is it like one of those things where it's just like it ends in a way that is unmistakable? Like the only two examples I can think of is when like both of the fucking leads who are named in the title of the movie just like kill themselves. You know which ones I'm talking about. But if you don't know, then I won't say it.
Oh man, I mean, I might, and my brain is just not activating.
You probably
properly.
do. There's one with Robert Redford and one with Gina Davis.
Oh, okay. I thought for his okay. Well, has it been 5 seconds? I don't want to make an obscure reference, but I was just about to.
Man, Olivia, you're really putting Luke through the ringer over here.
Like, look, I want to adhere to the audience's wishes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
I'm
respect
like
our timies over here. You guys make all the rules.
We expect our little timies, our little time tots.
Time tots.
Becky has ruled that obscure. Ooh.
How is it?
I don't know.
Like, it was like Jane Campion. She got up on Oscars and like kind of gave Kevin Costner shit for having a weird, long-winded speech beforehand. She's like, it's very dramatic. Thank you, Kevin.
I didn't watch the Oscars at all. I just saw that one clip that everybody sent to me simultaneously.
Oh, the one where they talk about the one where Amy Schumer made those subpar jokes. No, that's me. I'm not piling.
You'll have
on
to
Amy
remind me
Schumer.
of which time that was.
Oof. oof over here, you guys.
I'm not
Oof.
anti.
All right,
Amy
now
Schumer.
okay, it's all good. Olivia,
Oh,
I love
shots
you,
being
Luke.
fired.
Okay, then I'll
Yourself.
make the reference I was going to make. I thought you were.
Boom.
For a split second, I thought you were referencing the film Penn and Teller Are Dead.
That's the thing. I don't know
Yeah,
about that one.
I watched that was on Comedy Central for like a chunk of time so
Oh, good.
much.
Oh, she was. Oh, see, Becky was cheering you on. See, like the Timies are big Luke fans over here, you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, I feel. Are they big Luke fans? Are they just like he's the only guest this week, so we can't support anyone else?
Oh, maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Let's get back
They're
to
welcome.
Quigley.
All right, let's get back to Quigley. Let's see what else we got. What's Quigley's job? What's he do?
What's his job? He definitely works at a Hallmark store. He works at a Hallmark store, and he's really he. It would almost be annoying how much he wants to help you find the right card if he wasn't so adorable and earnest about it. He was just like, oh, like what are you looking for? Oh, a nephew? Well, what's the occasion? It's like, oh, this one. Oh, this is the perfect one. I love this one.
Oh my god. Well, that first of all already answers this question because I can now that's locked in. I feel like that voice.
Yeah.
And this
He
face
sounds
is
like
just
this. He's just so excited.
She's very earnest, a little bit shy, kind of staying back a little bit like this, but he's really excited to hear about your nephew.
I love it. That's great. Hallmark store guy. And where does he live?
Currently he probably lives. That's a great question. I feel like he currently lives in like Albany. Like he lives in a big state, but he lives in a like I guess Albany's the. You know what? Let's scratch that. He lives in Connecticut. He lives in a nice little suburb in Connecticut, and but originally he's from whichever town Franklin the turtle is from.
I don't know the answer to that. Time is if you got the time.
He was. I mean, here I'll put in like an even deeper layer. He grew up in the town that Franklin the turtle is from. Then for like 5 to 10 years he lived in Busy Town.
Yep.
And then he moved to Connecticut.
I'm gonna live in these two towns that are fictional and the home of many animated animals who are anthropomorphic and speak words. And then I'm gonna go to Connecticut because that's the next place to go.
Because that's the
just where
next
he
step,
wants to.
you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where he wants to raise his like. Obviously, Franklin's town. It's a very small town. It's very like small. Like I'm sure that one of those people in Franklin's hometown was homophobic. I'm guessing it was Beaver. She seemed like a pretty little rich girl.
Mhm.
And then you move to Busy Town, but it's a busy town. You know,
Like
like
it's busy and it's scary.
Real busy.
if
with
you.
2 Rs.
Oh my God, there's a reason why Richard Scarry wrote it because it's terrifying. And like if you want to raise a family, you can't be spending your time flying around in an Apple helicopter car with Lowly Worm. You just can't.
Yeah,
Or
you can't do
fucking running away from the cops with Bananas Gorilla. You can't do that. So
Now that we have
like,
context, I'm going to throw this up again. Obscure. Thank you.
but yeah, now he lives in Connecticut and works. He's like, I'm gonna say he's the manager. He started out as
Hey,
like just
good for him.
he started from the bottom. Now he's here as the
Nice.
manager of a Hallmark store.
Yeah, good for Quigley. I love Quiggles. He's a good boy. All right, what does he eat? What's his diet look like?
I mean, I feel like he's the type of guy who he really loves. He takes great care when he makes ants on a log. Like that's his favorite treat that he gives himself because he's trying to be healthy, but he wants to give himself a treat, and so he like if we were making a movie about Quigley, it would start with like the opening credit sequence would be over footage, lovingly shot footage of him just carefully getting out stalks of celery and spreading over just the right amount of peanut butter and then very daintily placing the raisins on top. You know, that kind of thing. Other than that, I don't know, probably HelloFresh
I feel like that's all you really need, right?
Yeah. He Quigley's listened to I don't know, whatever nice pleasant podcasts are out there that aren't like just filled with filthy comedians. Whichever, like, he's listening to, like, I don't know. I can't think of any, like, just
I like to
pleasant
imagine that
podcasts.
just means he is a fan of this show. It's like,
Yeah, he
oh,
wa-
Quigley's watching right now, and he's like, "How the hell did this happen?"
What?
Thanks, Quiggles.
How am I on the
Appreciate it.
show?
Yeah,
He watches this show and he listens to Podcast The Ride, which is a theme park podcast, and he uses the promo code to get discounts on HelloFresh.
oh, good for him. All right. What is Quigley's dream? Does he want to ascend past manager of this Hallmark store?
I mean, I think
Or
he's
is
not
this it for him?
opposed to that. Like, I feel like he might, deep down, he might want to someday start his own greeting card shop. Like, maybe he's like at home and he like kind of tinkers with writing his own cards himself, and he's like, what if I could just, make a one-stop shop, even if it's just like not a physical store. Like, he wants, like, he feel like he would be completely content with having just like a really well performing Etsy page, or whatever place you can sell handcrafted stuff like that. And then other than that, he just dreams of having a nice settling down with a nice woman, having a couple kids, and going apple picking in the autumn. Is that when you apple pick? In Connecticut?
I think so. Seems.
And then
I mean, maybe it's all year long in Connecticut. I don't know. The rules are different. It's always fall there, from what I understand.
Yeah, as far as I know, I think Connecticut is just like 60% apples. I think. I don't know. Just year round.
You can't fucking walk 2 feet in Connecticut without stepping on a goddamn apple.
All these damn apples. What am I supposed to do?
You want to talk about Lowly Worm's helicopter apple car? Like, I feel like if anybody makes one, it's gonna be somebody in Connecticut, because they've just got the resources.
Connecticutites. What are you called if you live in Connecticut? Like here we're Ohioans.
Boring.
I believe.
Connecticians.
Connectitians.
Yeah.
Connectitians.
Connected.
Canetians.
Connectisiologists.
Canetian
I think
sounds
we
like
lost a viewer just by doing that.
Sorry, all you timies.
I was gonna say Canetian sounds like a Doctor Who villain that was in one episode, and people were like, "Do not bring them back ever." Thank you.
We're a pretty divided fan base, but there's one thing we can agree on. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that
no
guy.
more of that.
We do not approve.
All right, and then of course the most important question we always ask: who is his favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan?
I mean, I feel like you would know this better than me. Who would you say is the sweetest member of the Wu-Tang Clan?
Honestly, I would say either Master Killer, which is kind of ironic, and or maybe Inspector Deck. I feel like he's really chilled out a lot in the past few years. And Method Man is also, he's very, very chill, kind of just like seems like a very optimistic kind of guy these days.
I was like, I didn't want to say it because again, I think you just know them better than I do, but I feel like especially as the years have gone by, Method Man has like really chilled out and seems like no matter like you could have a good hang with Method Man. I feel like he enjoys enough different things that you could find some common ground somewhere in the conversation, and just like really like oh my god, like you like he just, we were talking about Sam Raimi in the Evil Dead game. He recorded a song for the Evil Dead game.
Did he? Oh, that's
Cool.
dope. I'm excited about that.
Where like
Yeah.
at the beginning of the song, he was like, "Shout out to Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell."
Oh,
And it's
that's
just like
great.
fantastic.
That makes my heart happy. I fucking love
That's
that.
awesome.
I also love that he's been campaigning so hard to play Bishop if they ever do like an X Force movie. He's like, he like got into shape about it and he was like, "Hey Marvel, let's talk." I'm very excited about that.
I mean, look,
Yanni has
if
chimed in, Method Man is so attractive he could charge people to look at him. You know what? I'd pay. I'd be like, all right, here's your nickel.
he's a
buddy.
handsome man. He's a
He's a
handsome
good
man.
looking dude.
I also always remember, I think it was when Jordan Peele was promoting Keanu. He was on some talk show and he was talking about Method Man, and he was like, he's like really nerdy about stuff, and then went into, I'm not going to do it as well as him, but went into an amazing Method Man impression. Was like, yeah, you know, I'm into like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, and it's like, what?
Oh man, I hope Jordan Peele's impression is better than that.
It's much better. It's much. I was like, me trying would not have been anywhere near as good, and I wasn't trying there because I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not.
And
worth
also, like I feel like I would be the one to cancel you. I'd be like, don't. If you were
it.
really
Yeah, that's
trying.
fair. Please cancel me. I'm begging.
Hey,
you.
no. Well, put your
I
hands
long-
for Quigley, you guys. There. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, put your hands for Quigley. He's a good boy.
He is.
He's, if you're ever in Connecticut and need a greeting card, he's the guy to go to. I feel like.
Mhm.
Do they have like situations where like a greeting cards store where you can like walk in and just tell them the situation and be like, I'm not sure what to say, and they just like write you a custom one right there? I feel like that's the kind of thing that Quigley would do.
I mean, I it's definitely the type of thing Quigley would do, and I feel like if there isn't a place like I feel like that's doable. Like, just have a lot of like cards that are just like the face of them, or whatever, the title page or whatever you would call of a greeting card. is like is something just is not super specific, but just a very pleasant illustration, and then they can just be like, what do you need? Okay. Dearest grandson, nothing has made me prouder than you graduating from dentistry school.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called? Dentistry school?
it is. Johnny
I think
says
so.
that you should definitely try your Method Man.
I should try my Method Man. Hold on.
That's what Yanni says.
I mean, my impression of Method Man would just be an impression of Jordan Peele's impression of Method Man. So it's like, okay.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Oh. All right.
Yeah, you know, I'm into Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Like, that's like that is the only like line in my head. I can't even think of a line from like How High or anything, because it's been decades since I watched that on Comedy Central, being like, is there anything better on?
Oh, I don't know why that tickled me so much. That was very fun. Okay. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I don't know, we'll ask a bunch of questions. We'll just kind of see what happens, right?
Bring it. Ask me anything.
Yanni really showing her appreciation. So, great impression, Luke. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have questions. Okay, now I haven't updated these questions in a while, and like I think like last time I did this, I asked for any of you timies to add any questions that you feel like would be good ones for me to ask. So Luke,
Bring
you
it.
probably answered a lot of these, but let's see what we got here.
I'm sure my answers have changed. I'm every day you're a different person.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's start with favorite cartoon from the last decade.
Ooh,
It's a tough one.
from the last decade. So from 2012 to now.
Mhm.
And does it have to have started in the last 10 years, or just been
No.
making
It
new
could have
episodes in the
started
last 10
before.
years?
Yeah.
I mean, Venture Brothers, that's like always for me, that's a go-to. I love them. I can't wait for, the kind of wrap-up movie that they're doing for HBO Max, even though I probably will have to
nice.
wait for it. Yeah, they were one of the shows that really got fucked by the pandemic, where it's like they had gotten renewed for an 8th season, I believe. And then
Dang.
Cartoon Network was like, on second thought, no. There was like which was I remember reading an interview with Jackson Public and Doc Hammer, the creators, where they were really upset about that because like they kind of left the season on a kind of cliffhanger that they would not have wanted to end the show on, like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just the worst time for that. But I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, I just kind of watched a couple clips of like the last kind of special they did. But I love Adventure Time. I think Adventure Time. I think like it's almost a cliche or like hacky to like mention how good Adventure Time is. But like it's
No, I mean, there's a reason
It's
that it
so
holds up.
good.
You know what I mean?
because
Yeah.
I remember when it started, because it was like that and like Regular Show and like all these shows. So like I remember being cynical and thinking, oh, so Cartoon Network is now trying to make Adult Swim shows for kids. And I was like,
A little
okay. And
bit.
I'd see episodes of them and I'd be like, they're okay. And then like as soon as Adventure Time started going on long enough that it got to a deeper place, like with the Ice King's backstory,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this show's actually amazing.
Yeah. I like that's one that, and I'm sure I've mentioned it 1,000 times on this show. That's one that like I've never sat down and like done the whole thing, but like every time I like checked in, it was like, oh no, this is like just solid storytelling and just like really cool animation, and
Like I remember having my mind blown when they did the I think it was the first like Ice King and Marceline flashback episode where it showed
Oh my
them.
god, that's heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking, but
Yeah,
also
no.
it blew my mind when he starts singing the Cheers theme. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, so you're not just saying that this is like a version of Earth that's
This-
post-apocalyptic. You're saying this
This is legit, yeah.
our...
Our
Like
Oh.
Ted Danson was
I didn't
alive
know
in
that.
this
That's
world at
cool.
some
explosion,
point.
yeah.
that's pretty epic. I was not
Mhm.
aware
And
of
that Ice King lived through that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I'm
there's
gonna
so
have
much,
to watch
like-
Adventure Time. I think.
And then
You
there's like
need to.
and there's like the great I like the stuff they do with him is, and like post them kind of finding out like his actual backstory, and they and then you can tell that Finn and Jake clearly make a concerted effort to change the way they interact with him after kind of
Absolutely.
learning that.
And
There's the awesome episode where Finn has the spell done on him, where when he looks at people, it turns them into the way he sees them as people. And and then when he looks at the Ice King, it turns him into his former self. And Jake actually comments on this, like, wait, that's how he looks to you now? He's like, yeah. It's like, that's beautiful, man. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's
Simon.
just it's a genuinely beautiful, like, and
That
I'll say
feels like, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, that feels like just the right answer to this question. Then, I mean, it's like I feel like it does things that like no one else is really doing. Like, not necessarily to discredit any other shows. Like, I mean, I got a whole list of ones that are so fucking amazing. But yeah, that's really cool. I didn't even realize that. There's just like a lot of things that show was able to kind of like teach to people of all ages in a way that it was like didn't feel pandering, and it didn't feel like it was like hitting you over the head with it. It was just like, let's just present this in a way that's just like these are human things. That's very interesting.
And I feel like, and this is not to take away from this show, but I feel like
Mhm.
Steven Universe, I feel like kind of gets a lot of credit that still belongs to Adventure Time. I think Steven Universe did a lot of really amazing things and important things in terms of like identity for kids and stuff like that. But like, I feel like Adventure Time started that ball rolling. Like it's the classic,
Interesting.
like Adventure Time walked and crawled and scraped to get that kind of deeper stuff, so that Steven Universe from way earlier in its run was able to kind of like go
Run.
that far forward. Yeah.
Interesting. And that's one that I've like barely touched at all. Like, I think I've seen like maybe 2 episodes of Steven Universe.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into Steven Universe,
Yeah.
but
I never sorry, Drew, go ahead.
I love regular show and I love Adventure Time, but I think my favorite is Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls.
Oh,
See, I haven't dipped into that at all.
Surprisingly good. It's
that one
it's
is
great.
really fun. Yeah, and that's one I haven't finished that either. But like, it's like that one is like high quality. I really enjoy it. Let's see. Olivia says I've never watched Adventure Time, but I know they did a Mitski cover once, so I fuck with it.
I mean, Adventure
all you
Time
need
has
sometimes.
great music. Like,
Yeah,
It
And also,
does,
I
and
would-
they make great music for it too.
yeah,
yeah.
and also, I
baby who can dance like a man. I'm taking my chicken. I'm taking my hands. I'm a tough tootin' baby. I can bust all your buns. Bust all your buns. I can bust all your buns. If you're an evil witch, I will do
I
it
will
for
punch
fun.
you.
Oh, you made me the center.
I mean, you were
I was-
singing, Drew. What
I
were you
was
gonna do?
drawing.
I mean, I even love like
Yanni
the
says Willow
earliest.
Smith wrote 2 songs about Marceline. I didn't know that.
Dope.
That's very cool.
Ooh. Even like the
Cool.
earliest, maybe the earliest, one of the earliest Adventure Time songs was just the auto tune of Finn being like, "Baby, I know
Uh-huh.
what you need.
Uh-huh.
You want some little baby
Aw.
socks."
That's cool. So, like, Willow Smith, I assume, was just like a huge fan of Adventure Time, and then it was just like,
That's cool.
yeah, keep making shit. That's very cool.
Yeah.
The
and
one
I
I was
always
gonna
think
shout
of
out. Go ahead. Yeah.
bacon.
Oh,
Bacon
yeah.
pancakes.
Pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Take some bacon and I'll put it in.
And put it in a pancake, bacon pancakes.
pancakes.
And
Love it.
then when somebody added or edited it to New York, the Alicia
Oh,
Keys song,
yeah.
like,
Also, just some way taking that whatever that Taylor Swift song,
dum, dum, dum.
that Taylor
dum,
Swift
dum.
song that I knew you were trouble when you walked in, except then it just cuts to Finn's scream going, "Oh!"
I haven't seen that. That's funny though. I mean, I don't want to like subtract from the Adventure Time love. It feels like it is
Yeah.
plentiful and deserved. But the one that I did want to shout out real quick, I know we've only asked one question, but like this is the one that I do want to shout out, and I feel like I've done it before. But I really like the Great North these days. I don't know if you guys have watched the Great North at all.
I
That's a
watched.
fun one.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
watched,
much fun.
I haven't
so,
checked
like, you know,
in a
it's-
while, but it's good.
It's really fun. The thing that it's very similar to Bob's Burgers animation style and everything, but like one of the things that kind of both of those shows speak to for me is just like they feel like a big family. Both of them are just like feel like big families in a way that just like feels familiar to me because like we are 2 of 4 kids and like we grew up doing family business situations and just like it feels like like these archetypes kind of like speak to us at all different parts of our lives. But I think the thing that kind of like separates the Great North and Bob's Burgers is like all of Bob's Burgers references are all things that exist in the Bob's Burgers universe alone, pretty much. And Great North is just like it has like like there's a whole episode where they're trying to find Shrek decorations and no one says Shrekerations, and I think that's hilarious that they just don't say it. Like, oh, I gotta find these Shrek decorations, and I don't know. There's like all kinds of stuff like that, and that's not like the reason I love that one, but it's a
Also,
really
the-
good show. And I
Also,
highly
the
recommend
cast
it.
of that show is insane.
Stacked.
It's
It's
phenomenal.
like Nick Offerman, Will Forte, Dulce
Paul Rust.
Sloan, Paul Rust, Jenny Slate, and Aparna Nancharla as the youngest son, Moon.
Which
It's
is
so
perfect.
good.
Like,
Moon is the best.
He is the best character, and similarly, like Louise is kind of the best character.
See,
of Bob's Burgers.
the youngest child is always the best in absolutely everything. So
I,
Well,
mean, I don't know
fair
if this
enough.
is too basic, but
I'll
I
give
feel
you
like
a high
Bob's
five for
Burgers. I feel like Bob's Burgers. It has to be Tina, right? Like Tina has like.
I don't know, man. I love Louise.
Linda's
yeah.
my
Louise
favorite
is
character.
great. I mean,
Oh, that's
I
a
mean,
good answer,
Linda's
too, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Also,
I think
shout
I might
out
There
to
was an
Bob's Burgers.
episode like the Christmas episode. They go to like their mom's like cousin's house, and they're like all mad about a Italian like sauce recipe, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
confirmed,
Cannon.
confirmed. Finally, we know they're Italian.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I forget. I don't think I was telling you about it yet, Drew, but I was listening to the Always Sunny podcast, and Charlie Day was like, "Do you think I could have played like gangsters and stuff in like gangster movies, or do I not look Italian enough?" And then they're like, "I don't know, you don't look super Italian. How Italian are you?" He goes, "I'm a quarter, just as much as De Niro, which I've been saying for years," which I was very pleased with.
Awesome.
But yeah, sorry, Luke, I interrupted you. I apologize.
Well, no, I mean, first of all, I feel like Charlie Day's his Italian day has finally come now that he is voicing Luigi.
Luigi, yeah.
To me, the pillar of Italian excellence. And
Drew and I campaigned for both of those roles, and we just did not. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
I
They
got
said,
it, but I defaulted because Jameson didn't. So
well, and then they
Well, I
offered
appreciate
Jameson.
it.
They offered Jameson Waluigi, and he said, "Absolutely not. I would rather not have a
Absolutely
role
not.
in this if it's
Won't
going
do
to be Waluigi." But also, I just want to like shout out, like we were talking around it, but like Bob's Burgers, like again, it's been on so long that it's kind of like, oh yeah, Bob's Burgers, but like it's great. Like, and I haven't watched a new episode in a minute, but like I
Mhm.
just know that it's always there, and the fact that they got to make a movie is super awesome to me because
I
like,
can't
I
wait to
saw
see
it.
that.
you saw
I
it.
saw
How
it.
is it?
Oh yeah, when?
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I saw. I was visiting friends last weekend, and I saw it at the theater, and I enjoyed myself. It was a good movie. It felt like, I mean, it feels like a really big episode. It's like very
Yeah.
musical. That's like how, and I'm not a big musical guy, but like I always
Yeah.
enjoy the songs in that show. But like I don't know, there's like kind of this very sweet moment where you like figure out. Like you learned where Louise's ears come from, and there was a tear that I definitely shed a
Oh,
tear. It was
wow.
a nice
Aw.
moment, and it was a good time. Yeah, I would recommend it. Even if it's waiting until it hits Disney Plus or Hulu or wherever it lands
I
when
mean,
it's streaming. It's
I can't wait to watch because I've always wondered, like, what would Bob's Burgers look like if it just had more shadows in the animation?
Mhm.
Somebody pointed out, like, whenever they upgrade the animation of a show for a movie, it's basically just like, oh, there's
Mhm.
more.
that's
Pretty
what.
much,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
they
thinking
have-
that the other
They
day.
have the opportunity to actually add shading because
Yes.
they've got
Yeah,
the budget
it's like
for
this
that.
matters
so-
here. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
big
Mhm.
screen,
And they did the
it's gonna
same thing
matter
with
a
The
little bit.
Simpsons, but they had
Simpsons,
the
right.
ability to continue it, which
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
curious if that's going to happen with Bob's Burgers. I kind of hope it doesn't.
If the show
Because-
continues.
No, if they add the
No,
shading
with the shading.
behind
Okay,
the
yeah, they do
objects
kind of like
and
pick
stuff.
up that after that. You're right. No,
Mhm.
I was gonna say Bob's Burgers definitely isn't ending, right? Like,
Oh no,
Yeah, that
no,
would
I
be a
don't
bummer.
think so. That would
but check
suck.
this out. Okay, so Yanni says absolutely #youngest unite, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
Olivia said same. I feel like a lot of Timies are the youngest. Is that a thing that we should
Mhm.
explore here, Drew? Is it because of you and your baby face is
Yeah.
what is like attracting everyone? Here, let's throw that up in the middle of the screen again. Look at you. That's why people are
Oh.
here. You're the cute one. You're the fucking Zeppo Marks, and I'm Groucho.
Great,
which
I'm
means-
the Zeppo. I always
And I'm,
thought of it
and I'm
like
Gummo, the one who wasn't in any of the movies.
Right. I think
I always
I'm
thought of
Groucho.
it
I
like
don't know.
Jameson's
He puts
Jerry
some-
Lewis and I'm Dean Martin, but it seems like
Yeah.
our dynamic is the opposite when we're like out doing stuff.
Is that right? Am I a super cool guy out when we're out doing stuff?
No, I lied.
I ruined it just now by doing
You
a little
did
dance.
all credit for it. Just
Well, you guys are
gone.
constant. Whenever you guys are on a cruise ship, you're constantly trying to fit like dozens of people into one tiny room, right? Like,
Oh, every
that's
time.
Oh, yeah.
obscure reference. Night of the
Just-
Opera.
Hold on, let me get that.
I was wondering if that's what that was.
That was a Night of the Opera. I was a huge like. If you, yeah, it will surprise no one to know that in third grade I dressed as Groucho Marx for Halloween.
Dude, yeah, I think it was third grade when I dressed as Curly Howard. So I was just like the same but dumber. I was like, I like old shit, but I mostly just want to get hit in the face. Let's do
So what
this.
did you just like shave your head and then just like run around on the floor?
No, I
Like,
bought a bald cap and I had a suit that I stuffed with a pillow and stuff. It was fun. I did eventually do Groucho as well, but I think I was like,
my
I was
parents-
definitely old enough to know cooler shit.
My
You know
parents
what I mean?
like got me actual cigars. They were just wrapped in plastic, so when I put them in my mouth, I wasn't putting in like the cigar in my mouth, but like
Yeah.
it was just actual like real cigars, just like individually wrapped in plastic.
That's hilarious.
And nobody like if you look at like pictures of me, it's like me in like our little like third grade Halloween parade where we just walk in front of the school, and it's like me next to like guys who are just like in their baseball uniforms, and that's their
And
fucking
you're like-
outfit. And yeah, and then like and like girls in like a blue M&M like really shitty like store-bought outfit, and then I'm in a white shirt, suspenders, a clip-on red tie, and the fucking painted on mustache and eyebrows and glass.
As if I had it any closer, we'd be wearing the same pajamas. Love it. Yeah. All right. I've only asked one question, so I do want to get one more in, and I'm sure again that we've asked it because this is one we've been asking since the beginning. But this is one that I'm always curious about with guests because like everybody's doing something different. What are you watching these days? Like, what's entertaining you?
Well, like in terms of stuff that's airing right now, I need to catch up on the most recent episode from Sunday, but I'm loving the new season of Barry.
I just
Yeah.
watched it last night.
We
that
got
show
like
is so
3
fucking
episodes
good.
in when I was at your house, Jameson.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's
So
one of
good.
It's
So
No,
good.
we caught up on the season except for the
Did we
newest
watch
episode.
all of season 3? Oh, I thought
All
we
of
watched
there was
2
one
or
that
3
was
episodes.
aired Sunday, and then the finale is next week. And yeah, so
Okay.
you're
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
one behind currently, but there's 2 more to watch.
Cool.
I'm also one behind, but like, and it's such a great show. Like, it's also like this weird kind of like time thing where, like, at the very beginning of the pandemic, I binged watched the first 2 seasons of Barry because HBO goes like, here's a bunch of shit for free because we're gonna be in a pandemic for like a couple weeks, and then
Yeah,
now
yeah.
like the
It's
third
gonna be
season's
a
out,
couple
and we are
months,
still
It's
very
gonna be a
much in a
little while.
pandemic. But like it's just so great, and it's the fact that it's like still so great and has gotten to such a different place in many ways. Like the fact that like I no longer feel I don't like Barry at all anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
to
what
me.
I was
No,
talking to
yeah,
Jameson
especially
about.
this season, I feel like has really put the final nail in the coffin of like this guy's like kind of like I'm not rooting for him anymore.
It's
you know?
In
like, yeah,
a
like, he's
similar
just
way
a-
of Breaking Bad, I would just like
Yes.
all of the characters. Besides Kusino, I'm starting to kind of root against just because.
Mhm.
And NoHo
It is-
Hank. NoHo
Yeah,
Hank
yeah,
is
yeah.
the best.
Well, the thing with NoHo Hank is that like I feel more connection and investment in Hank than I did in the first 2 seasons, where it's like he's a very funny character, but also more like an annoyance and like a kind of monkey wrench in the like in the works. Where
Yeah.
it's like Barry's trying to do this stuff and NoHo Hank's just constantly pulling him back in, and then now it's like, well, NoHo Hank seems like he's mostly on the level. And
Yeah,
in
he's,
a
like, moved
loving
on.
relationship.
Yeah.
And Barry's
Uh-huh.
just a fucking lunatic. Like Barry used to be like a bad guy who, like a guy who, or like it seemed like a guy who had done bad stuff but wanted to be good and was trying to be good. And now it's just like, oh, you're just like, there's no fixing you. Like, I guess we
Yeah.
shouldn't say that about anybody, but like, he's
Right,
just so
'cause-
far gone that like,
I think that's the conceit of the show is like that the whole time you're
Yeah.
kind of like I mean you're rooting for him to kind of find a different path in life, you know, like for him to find something that like makes him happy that isn't like super fucked up. And then like as it goes on, it's just like I don't even care what happens to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very
Uh-huh.
interesting thing.
It's like
Yeah.
because like especially the more it goes on, the more it's just like he just leaves between him and Fuchs and their weird like stupid, selfish, idiot like dude
It's
obsession with
it's
each other. They just
insane.
leave carnage in their wake. And like it's like
Mhm.
both these guys for the if to make the world a better place, they need to be taken out of it.
Yeah,
And,
pretty
like,
much.
It's also fucked up like reading how so many people like hate Sally on the show more than Barry. And like Bill Hader was like talks about how he talks to people and be like, you know, Barry kills people, right? Like he's not a good guy. It's like Sally
Well, I
has
mean, the
her
same
own-
thing happened with Breaking Bad too. People were like, "Why is Skyler so mean?" It's
yeah, and I never like like I binge watched Breaking Bad very late, but to me, I was never like, oh, Skylar sucks. I'm like, I never felt like she is until she suggests that they had to kill Jesse, which then I'm just like, oh fuck you. You want to kill like the one person with a soul left on this show? But like to me,
Oh, he's so good in that show.
my
He
my
really
issue.
is, and I have not seen the epilogue movie.
Shout out to
you
Aaron
never
Paul.
saw? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. His unfortunately his post Breaking Bad career never really took off. But to be
Yeah.
fair, kind of neither did Cranston. Like Cranston's at a real like
Yeah, it's kind of like it's one of those things that's it's very hard to top that. You know what I mean? So it's like they're all
Yeah.
kind of just like grasping at straws, just like trying to see like what else works here, like what else can I do? And I know,
meanwhile, Bob's just
yeah.
like, I'm still going strong, baby.
yeah. By the way, have you seen Nobody? Have you seen that?
Yes.
It looks
I
so
love
good,
it.
but I haven't.
It's so much fun. It really is. And then, like, you know, like his family is revealed to be Christopher Lloyd and the RZA. And it's like, this is
Yeah.
fucking amazing. Like, I
That's
want
awesome.
this.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I hope, like, I mean, I know they said that a second one is in development. Nothing is official yet, but like, I am very much on board.
If anything, I'm just glad Nobody exists because the fact that Bob had to train for that movie might be one of the reasons why he's still alive.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that heart attack might have killed him without all that training. Aaron Paul is on Westworld. Yes, that is true. I started watching.
But aren't people
season
kind
3,
of done with?
kinda
I
dropped
never
it.
watched Westworld, but I feel like the consensus I'm hearing from people who do are just like, yeah, I'm done with Westworld. Like,
I loved the first season. I thought the first season was incredible. The second season, the best part of it was the Shogun World cover of Cream. Season 3, I watched like the first 3 episodes and I just like never got back into it. I'd like to. I heard that it ends really well and that people are very excited for season 4, but it's just like it's such a drag sometimes, you know. So
I mean, I like a lot of the people on it. Jeffrey Wright's great. He's great. He's probably
He's
maybe
never
the
not great.
highlight
Dude,
of the
yeah.
Batman.
like I always say this, Jeffrey Wright is so good. I always assumed he was British. You know what I mean? I was like, oh yeah, he must be British to be as good.
He
and
plays a lot of
versatile
stuff,
as he is.
especially in like Source Code. He's got like a real kind of like Frasier-y accent where he's like, "Ooh, the Source Code."
I think the first thing I saw him in was Broken Flowers, that Jim Jarmusch movie with Bill Murray, and he plays like an Ethiopian dude. He's so good in it, so good. Yanni says the reason to watch now is just to see who they cast, but the second half of the most recent season was so damn good. That is probably exactly the point that I fell off, Yanni. It probably got really good right here. It just like kept going up, and I was like, I stayed here. So I need to get on that. So
That's like-
Westworld, Barry, HBO is doing great stuff right now.
Hot
guys.
take, you guys. HBO, they make some
Pretty
pretty
solid.
good shit.
Big fan of HBO these days, huh?
Also, I've been watching a lot of old episodes of Doctor Who recently because whenever they announce like who the new person is going to be, I'm just like, oh, now you're getting me like back into it. Even though I think the current iteration of the show is really, really, really poorly written. It's not. I don't hate that there's a lady. That's not my issue with it. She's fine. It's literally everything around her that's bad.
That's what I heard too. I remember like when she was first announced, there was like a lot of and I'm not a big Doctor Who guy. Like
Yeah.
like I'm one of those guys who like I know the name of every actor who has played the part, but I
One of my
don't know
favorite
much
things
about
about you is that you know every actor who's played Doctor Who.
I
You
couldn't.
do
I
not
felt like I
like
had to
Doctor Who.
know, and then I like had to try to familiarize myself. But yeah, I just didn't really get around to it. But anyway, like I remember, like when Jodie Whittaker was announced, like that was what everyone was saying. Like it's not but I feel like the writing is not where it should be right now.
It's
you know?
yeah, I mean not the writing, like everybody else who's in the cast, like the production, like the way even the TARDIS interior, I think is like really so it's just like
Oh
And it's-
really?
yeah, and it's like different, like because like I can watch bad like 80s Doctor Who because there's such like a cheap chintzy, like campy quality to it. But like bad current day Doctor Who is just like, I'm like fucking bored. And like this is like, I'm just like bored and just constantly being like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's not why would you do that? That whatever. Not to end on a whatever. HBO, Barry, he's great.
HBO is great, and it's fun to have, and it's fun to watch. And
Henry Winkler, we love him.
Henry Winkler,
You love him.
He's so good.
It's hard not to like that guy.
Darcy
He's very
Carden,
good.
we love her.
Oh, Darcy Carden, and also like this season, Darcy Carden's really got to stretch a little bit. She's got to do a lot more than she's done in the past couple of years. It's such an interesting thing too. She was Bill Hader's like nanny, babysat his kids, and then so when he was writing the first season of Barry, he's like, "Oh, this will be great. I'll write a part for Darcy because she's really funny and no one knows it." And then he found out that she was already a regular on
The Good Place,
on The Good Place, which she was incredible on that show, by the way.
And she's also incredible whenever she's a guest on the George Lucas Talk Show, which
is that right?
I guess anytime that she's been on, she stays for the entirety of the show. Like, which, as anybody who is familiar with the George Lucas Talk Show knows, they do very long episodes. And so if you want hours of Darcy Carden being goofy with a bunch of other dummies, George Lucas Talk Show, and any episode she's on,
she is endlessly goofy. She seems like she has such a great time. Yeah, Darcy Carden is the woman of Olivia's dreams. I cannot blame you for that. She is wonderful.
That's wise choice. I will say though, they just dropped like a mini trailer for the League of Their Own show that she's in with like.
Oh,
Abby
I haven't
Jacobson.
watched that yet. Yeah.
My here's the thing. I love the League of Their Own. I love that they're doing it. I also love Stevie Nicks, but they used the fucking White Wing Dove song in this like little 30-second trailer, and it just is
out of place.
Super cringy. And I was just like, oh, like, dude, like I would rather you just had like an old timey like, like.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like weird shots where it's like,
oh, I haven't watched it yet. I gotta do this.
Ooh, look at Nick Offerman smiling.
Nick,
oh, is he in that too?
Yeah, he's like basically the Tom
I'm excited
Hanks.
to see it.
Oh, is he? Okay.
That's it. I'm excited to see the show.
Again, I'm excited. I feel like the people who are involved are like really good people.
Kate Berlant.
I like her. She's very funny.
Yeah, she's very good.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Drew's tapestry, you guys. All right, what do we got here, Drew? We got Quigley down there. We got Jake the dog. We got Moon Tobin. We got Finn the human. Oh yeah, yeah. What's the triangle over there from Gravity Falls?
Yeah, Bill Cipher.
Talisman.
Bill Cipher. That's right.
Larry Jonathan, Andrew Wilcox, Baker, other white names. You can see sort of in the middle what it's like to live in Connecticut. Just apples constantly.
A person
dropping,
crushed by
an apple. I love that.
And just above that is
ants on a log.
Ants on a log. And then time plus tots because you said time tots. And I'm like, that's pretty good. And next to that, to the left of it, is an attempted Static Shock symbol.
Oh, yeah.
Which, looking at it from a distance doesn't look as bad as I thought it would.
No, it looks pretty good. Yeah.
In my face.
Superhero Static Shock.
I just feel so bad for the guy underneath the apple.
Yeah, I really like.
Right?
I don't know who I feel worse for.
Poor guy.
The guy underneath the apple, or his friend or loved one who is
desperately trying to pull.
You're okay.
Oh
You're
God.
okay. You're okay.
Poor guy. Oh my God. Anybody have anything to plug? Anything coming up? Any your Instagrams or anything you got going on?
I mean, I got Twitter, Luke Swisher. I got Instagram, Luke Swish. I don't really do much with either. Yeah, I don't got. Yeah, I mean, I'm writing some stuff, but I got nothing coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also don't really have anything coming up. There was I got offered to do a show, and then I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great, and then I never heard back. So I really don't know if I'm promoting that or not. But otherwise, keep tuning in for Plus Time. Follow Drew on Instagram. at what's your Instagram handle again, Drew?
Lazy Dog Doodles, but it has lazy _ dog
Mhm.
_ doodles.
Lazy Dog Doodles on Instagram. Follow Squeezegram as well if you're a fan of me or this show. Like, follow us
Mhm.
both.
Yeah.
And follow Luke Swisher on Instagram.
Yeah.
That feels like the one I want to plug today is Instagram. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm never on there, but I'm gonna make a concerted
neither am I.
effort.
We're gonna
to
learn
do
how
that.
to do social media eventually.
yeah. Oh, we've been saying that since April 20,
Uh-huh.
whatever we started this 2020. But we'll figure
Right?
it out.
You should just
Anyway,
hire somebody
put
at
your
this point.
hands
This is bullshit.
for Luke Swisher. Put your hands for Quigley. I'm gonna throw him up too. Put your hands for Drew Rogers. Put your hands for me, Jameson Rogers. Put your hands for our producers, Cameron Rogers and Anna Kabakova, who also happens to be the love of my life and whatnot. Put your hands for yourselves. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.